Hey guys, what is going on? This is Rich Segara, Operation Vets with Nets, over on. Oh, I did it for the first time, right? Here's my new co host, starting with season 2, episode 1. There's Ashley, and then Jesse's in there somewhere. And
Yeah,
then
he's on the
down
living room.
below, we got over there, we got TJ Hooker. He's our vet. And we're still waiting for our captain, John, to get on. He's having some technical difficulties. But I want to welcome everybody. I know it's been a while since we've had a podcast. And what we're going to do moving forward is Ashley and Jesse are going to co-host this with me. And so hopefully we'll have a schedule laid out long in advance, get things scheduled, and move on with the theme of the show. I want to welcome everybody out there in Facebook land and YouTube. We are simulcasting all this stuff out there. Feel free to make any comments. But let me see if I can pull it up in Facebook as well. But oh, hey, all right, hey, good afternoon, Tasha. So as you come on board, just give us a little shout out. And again, welcome to Operation Vets with Nets, America's Finest Heroes, Journey to Real Therapy. We are eventually going to be doing things a little bit differently than we have in the past. Our first season we only had something like 8 or 9, maybe 12 episodes. It got crazy. It was difficult getting folks to commit to coming on, but I think with me and Ashley working this and Jesse, I think we're going to be fine. And we're gonna, our focus, the whole focus of this podcast is really to share that journey to real therapy, and looking at it from an aspect from the captain who took the vet out and the vet that went on the trip. But before we go ahead and start moving in, as I said, we'll give John a few more minutes to see if he can get in here. If not, it looks like we're gonna put the grinders to TJ for the next hour, which I'm excited about. But one thing I want to talk about and is upcoming in less than a month is CatCon. We are going to be at CatCon again this year. We will now have a bigger booth. Last year we had a 10 by 10. This year we'll have a 10 by 20 because, part of that, our plan is to set up and we'll be running live podcasts through the whole event. So we're excited about that. Our team has grown astronomically big, which is fantastic. You'll get an opportunity to meet. We're gonna have a lot of our teammates there, working the booth, working the floor. Hey, there. Chat is disabled in YouTube. Wow. I did not know that. I will have to check that. I don't know why, but I appreciate that, Walt, for letting us know. So supposedly chat is disabled in YouTube, and I don't have access right now to my other computer to go make those changes. And we're gonna have a blast. We're gonna have a blast. And And the exciting thing is we now have our first official affiliate chapter of Operation Vets with Nets, and there are a lot more interests that other folks want to do the same. What's up, Bill? So before we begin, Ashley, why don't you tell us a little bit about your new and exciting affiliate chapter?
Okay, we are Last Call Catfishing, and last year we were introduced to Operation Vets with Nets through Anthony Brown in Vicksburg, Mississippi, and they were looking for captains on all of the states around us, but not here. And when I reached out to him and asked him why, he said they didn't really have anybody that would take the lead with it. And he set us up with Rich. And after a few phone calls, we had an entire event planned it in 8 weeks, had 41 veterans and 40 captains on the water. TJ was one of them. That's how we have connected. We're very thankful for you, TJ. And our event was bigger and better than anything we could have ever imagined. The stories that we've been told, the connections that have been made are going to last a lifetime. And we have already started to plan for this year. And with us being an affiliate chapter, we are able to go and apply for grants and do our sponsorships. Our hope is that this year we can raise enough money that the veterans can have a hotel room. We're doing a 2-day event this year. The Veterans Club is providing dinner for us on Friday night and cooking a hog for us on Saturday night for the day of the event. So we've got lots of great things happening. And TJ is a big part of that. Rich is helping us along, but we have an entire community here in Ohio that are wanting this to succeed. So if you're interested to be a captain, a veteran, you want to help in any way, please reach out to us and we will set you up.
Matter of fact, thank you. So if you guys want to know more, just there's our website, operationvetswithnets.org. And if you look at events, you'll see the Ohio River chapter event up there, as well as, and I'll talk about ours here shortly. You can click on that, and you'll have an opportunity to, if you're a vet, not only sign up to be, one of those vets that go out on the trip for that day, but also if you want to be a volunteer captain for the event that day, then you can then sign up for there as well. So you can do that all from our website. And you'll see another vet on there. It's called Hooked on Heroes. Last year, we had a very small event, and I say small. I think we had 10 boats and 10 captains. Same premise as Ashley, but it was our first, and we put it together fairly quick as well. But it was nothing, nothing like Ohio River's event. And they really set the bar on events within the organization. And so this year, we are doing something very similar to what Ashley did in Ohio. And I'm hoping as we build and other affiliate chapters that we can do the same type of events all over the country. And so our goal is to be able to have 50 boats and 50 captains. If it gets bigger than that, fantastic. But it'll be our first major big event. So we're super excited about that. If you're interested in how to be a vet on that trip, looks like we lost Ashley there for a minute. Again, go to the web. There she is. She's back. Go to the website and click on Hooked for Heroes. That is the name of our event. That'll be the name of the event every year that we go under Hooked on Heroes. And and please keep an eye out on Facebook for both the Ohio River event and our Hooked on Heroes event. I know there'll be more to come. I know Ashley will have a lot more to share as it gets closer. Her event is October 11th, correct?
Yep.
Okay, October 11th. Ours is November 8th. And we are going to try to get up to Ohio. Walt and I are going to try to get up to Ohio to support that event as well. And we've already had folks from Ohio wanting to come on down and support ours as well. We've got some vets that signed up. I think they were part of Ashley's event, and they're going to be a part of Ashley's event again this year, but then wants to come on down to ours. So that's phenomenal. Yes, Bill, you're right. Bill sits there and says, real therapy works. It does. It truly does. And again, folks, I'm sorry why the chat is disabled. And on YouTube. So if you can get in via Facebook, please do. All right. So let's start off. And so Ashley, why don't you introduce TJ? And TJ, I've got a series of questions I want to ask you, but Ashley, why don't you go ahead and introduce TJ?
All right. This is our friend, TJ Hooker. He is an Army veteran from the Cincinnati area.
Right on. Okay. TJ, I am going to, let's see here. You're going to be thrown under the bus here. I've got a whole bunch of questions for you. All right. The first one is, how did you even find out about Ashley's event?
So I found out about the event through Last Call Catfishing, Ashley and Jesse's TikTok. One night, just kind of sitting, and I can get more of that story after all the questions, but that's how I found out about it.
All right. So my first question, can you walk us through your experience on the fishing trip with Operation Vets with Nets, and what stood out the most to you about that day?
Yeah, so first, I just want to start with what really stood out to me is once everybody got back, just seeing everybody's smiles on their faces, that really made me feel good as a vet. Just seeing other vets, happy, because you always hear about like the bad. You never really hear too many good things. So then just being able to see kind of everybody's faces and everybody smiling was a real big kicker for me. But I think for me, I think I got there at the event didn't start till I believe it was 7 or 8, or the boat's launch was at 7 in the morning. And I was extremely excited for the event. And that's even an understatement. I think I got there at 5:30 in the morning, and just found Ashton and Jessica and try to see if they needed help with anything. But I was extremely excited for the event. So yeah.
Boy, it sounds like you're already excited again.
Oh yeah, I'm extremely ready.
Okay, how did being on the water with fellow veterans impact you emotionally or mentally? And did you feel a sense of camaraderie?
To be honest with you, I did. Definitely, I lost that, and that's also more with my story, with the camaraderie situation. But just going out for, and everybody was so excited to get out there, and everybody helping each other out too. You pull up to the side of a boat, and then if somebody needed bait, we gave them bait, and just feeling that camaraderie back again, and just getting that feeling of that people actually still care was huge.
Awesome. Let me see here. And Ashley, please, if you have any questions that you want to ask TJ, please feel free to chime in. So let me ask you, TJ, was there a specific moment during the trip that made you feel especially grateful grateful, or a time, or rather a moment that you will always remember?
So that would be as soon as we got back. Everybody's kind of getting lunch, eating, and then right before we're getting ready to do all the door prizes and stuff. Just seeing everybody just happy. And you could tell some people needed that, I think, just because the difference between before and then after was you could tell the mood and how people were feeling before compared to after. After they were, I think everybody was enthusiastic, and I'm pretty sure everybody wanted to get back out there, but I think a lot of people were coming from different parts all over, so a lot of people had to get back on the road. But definitely when we got back and just seeing how happy everybody was a huge moment for me.
Awesome. All right, I'm trying to mess with this this layout to bring you back onto the center and kind of put us to the side. But all right, well, all right. So you talked about, you mentioned a minute ago about your story, and the other day, I think we were on TikTok live with Johnny, and there was a lot that you shared, and it seemed pretty emotional. And would you mind sharing, what you talked about? Let's hear your story.
Okay. Yeah, I don't mind at all. Yeah, because I thought TikTok was going to be gone and all that stuff. So I tried to just get my story out there because I know Ashley and Jesse know it, but realistically, I just kind of kept to myself. I really didn't share it with too many people. Just kind of a private person. I really don't, it's asking for help. I don't know. It's just something about asking for help. It's just kind of feel like embarrassed a little bit, but anyway, so I'm TJ. I did 9 years total. I started out at Ohio Army National Guard. Ends weren't really meeting with me and my wife, so we decided, okay, if I'm doing this part time, I may as well try to do this. Try to shoot and do this full time. Was fortunate enough to actually get a conditional release, which that's pretty, from my understanding at the time, was pretty hard to get to actually go from National Guard to active duty. But was lucky enough to get that approved. Was fortunate enough to go to Fort Polk, Louisiana, with my first duty station, and then went to after that to Fort Wainwright, Alaska, which both those were amazing. I'm 11 Charlie, so it was definitely an experience I won't forget. Ultimately, though, I wanted to try to do 20 years, but it got cut short, and got medically discharged. And that really kind of set me on a bad path, because at that time I tried to do everything I could, and I just couldn't do it. So what happened was if anybody's familiar with 11 Charlie kind of world, I had a 120 millimeter mortar fall on my shoulder, and it destroyed it. Had 2 surgeries, and at that time, that's when the Army was trying to cut back on troops. So that was during the COVID time, and I'm already on that path to get medically discharged. So they pretty much just sent me to the wind. And then during that time, me and my wife, we really didn't know kind of what we were going to do, where we were going to go. Luckily, she was actually working, so that definitely helped out a little bit. But ultimately, we ended up coming back to Ohio. Once we came back to Ohio, I all my buddies that were in the National Guard kind of left, moved. So I didn't, and it was, at that point, it was 7 years, a difference. So, I mean, life happens. So I didn't really keep up with them too much, and kind of lost all those connections. So I lost the camaraderie, the brotherhood, even just the routine. The routine was huge for me. So lost all that, and when we came back to Ohio. Fast forward, I got out in 2021. Struggled for a while. I had a lot of dark times, to be honest with you, and I do have two really good friends that helped me tremendously through that. But even my family, I have 4 kids, so, and my wife, I mean, they're really, really supportive. So they got me through those times, those really rough patches. But I just got to the point where I just didn't want to continue anymore. The night that I had I'm sorry.
No, it's okay, brother. It's okay. Take your time, man.
Good, bud.
The night that I had kind of planned to be done, something told me to go on TikTok. Just get on TikTok is like you have the angel on one shoulder, the devil on the other shoulder. And the angel definitely was like, "Hey, you need to get on TikTok." And so I was like, you know what? What can I lose at this point? Got on TikTok, and literally the first video that popped, or the first video that popped up was Ashley and Jesse talking about the Ohio River event. And I told my wife about it, and once I kind of calmed down a little bit, and then seeing the video, went to talk to my wife about it, and then she's like, "You know what? We got to try to get you to that event." And I was like, "Okay." So just trying to lead up to that event. Just pretty much just taking it one day at a time from that point on, and working up to that, just told myself, I just need to get to that event. And I mean, I am extremely happy that I didn't do anything to myself, obviously, and then I was able to make that event, because that's why I'm, and of course my family, but that's why I'm still here, to be honest with you.
So you're attributing to this event is why you're still walking this good earth?
Yes, exactly.
That, brother, it from the first time I heard your story, every time it touches me deeply. It truly does. And that's really what Operation Vets with Nets is about. Oof, now I'm getting.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
Dude, there's no, you know what? There is no need to be sorry, brother. None whatsoever. It's a powerful testimony. And the thing is that we're glad that there is an organization such as ours, and that could provide that real therapy, provide that that connection with other vets. And I feel so blessed as the founder of this organization that you were able to connect with Jesse and Ashley via TikTok, to be able to make that event. That's powerful stuff, and that is truly the whole purpose of this organization. It's not about Rich. It's not about Ashley. It's not about Chris. It's not about Anthony. It's not about Walter. You know, it's truly 100% all about our veterans.
And, I felt that from the moment as soon as I drove there. I felt that. So there was no doubt in my mind at all.
Man, that's incredible. That's incredible. Let me ask you, how did the fishing trip compare to other forms of support or therapy you've experienced as a veteran?
For me, I grew up fishing my whole life, and while I was in, I tried to talk to a therapist, but it really, I don't know. For me, it really didn't equivalent to being out on the water. Just as I was growing up, pretty much my whole life, I got introduced to fishing at a young age from my grandpa and his buddy. So I got that embedded into me at a younger age, and then as I got older, and when I joined the Army, I kind of fell out of that for a little bit, and then with the event, I'm all in. So I'm trying to get back out there, and that's what I enjoy to do. It's just 4 kids. It's a little hard, but you gotta take that time for yourself and get that real therapy, and that's what worked for me.
Man, that's
We're going to get him on the water a whole lot more this next year. There's several of us at our local club. We've got you, bud. You'll be on the water as much as you want to be.
And I wish John was on here too, because he was a man. And that's one thing about the event too, is I told him, I'm like, hey, I'm just I don't have 4 screaming kids, yelling in my ears. I'm out here on the water. It's been peaceful. So I don't even care if we even catch anything, And he was a great teacher, because I'm a huge. You can see my stuff's flipped. Darn it. Okay. You can see I'm a huge bass, crappie, bluegill fisherman, but when it comes to actual catfishing and like that targeted species, I really didn't know anything about catfishing. So John was a huge teacher, especially on the Ohio River. Like, that was the first time I ever was out on the Ohio River, and I'm hooked on going out on the Ohio River. But that's one thing that he taught me how to tie the hooks, doing the dragging weights. I had no idea what any of this was. Planer boards, no idea. So even just learning something new out in the water was huge for me. I told him, I'm like, hey, right when we're about to launch, I was like, hey, I don't care if we even catch anything. I'm just happy to be out here. And ultimately we were able to get 1, but I was just happy to be out there. So, and I think that too, I want to say that was probably for other vets too. I don't think, we weren't really expecting to catch anything. It was just being able to be out there and just getting that experience and seeing that actually, there's an organization that we can go to that people actually, I won't cuss, but the people actually give a crap. That was huge. So, because too, you always hear all the horror stories about the VA and all this, and trying to get in. And just getting out there on the water, it doesn't get any better than that.
Right on. And it's funny you mention that, because that's truly, because that's how this organization came about. Is catfishing was my therapy, and it was, I guess, when I started catfishing back in 2019, knew nothing about catfishing, nothing. I got this beautiful lake home, got this boat, and so I was just sitting off my neighbor's boat dock, and I hooked into a nice size blue. To me, it was nice size. It was probably 8-9 pounds at the time. I was super excited. And so then I started, we have a lake gas and information page. And so one of our local legends out there who lives pretty much on the same creek as I do, I was talking about my experience and I wanted to learn more. And he just just started providing me a whole lot of information, and he started living in my pocket. What I mean by that was, so I said, well, if I can do this from the boat dock, I got this brand new tri-tune. And so I started going out. I bought some cheap rod holders, had no trolling motor. I thought I could sit there, get a couple rods, throw them out there, and slowly go through the water. And no, you need a trolling motor if you're going to be dragging. I didn't know any of this. So next thing you know, he's got me buying a trolling motor, and then it was this and that. Thousands of dollars later, finally, I'm catching fish. And it became, as you said, TJ, it became very therapeutic for me. And I was sharing this with my VA therapist. And I said, man, if I can do this, if I can feel this way, the way I do every time I come off the water, if I'm catching anything or not, so I started taking some of my friends who are vets out, and then hearing their stories afterwards and different things. I was sharing with my therapist, and she was like, well, maybe you have a little niche here. And so I started taking more vets out. Next thing you know, I wanted to do it at a grander scale. I thought, hey, if this is helping me when, mentally and physically, just imagine what it can do for others. And then obviously, Operation Vets with Nets was founded. And it's the stories like yours, TJ, and even Ashley and Jesse aren't vets, but their hearts to give back to our veterans. And we have a lot of captains like that are not vets, never been in the military, but they have the heart to give back to our veterans, is what makes this organization different than a lot of other similar organizations in the catfishing industry. I think what makes this organization is the love and dedication of our teammates and the willingness to take a complete stranger out on the water for what we coined the phrase real therapy. And it's that's what makes it so special. And that's what I think really brings us, it builds that bond, and then you end up meeting people such as Ashley and Jesse, and you learn from them. You meet people like Chris Gemmell. There's so many people in the catfishing industry you end up meeting, via like, especially on our team. We have our team chat. And so, people are chatting about this, people are chatting about that. We're a veteran organization out there to provide that real therapy and taking folks catfishing. But people talk about hunting, they talk about killing squirrels and making squirrel gravy, whatever it might be. It's a sense of family.
Yep.
And if we portray anything different than that, then we have a problem. Ash, do you have any questions you'd like to ask TJ?
No, him and I talk quite frequently. He's like my sidekick for planning this year. So I'm very grateful for him. I've shared his story, not near as detailed as what he does, but I will continue to tell his story and all of the others that I've heard to get this out there. We're going to keep fighting it, and we're excited for this year. Our goal this year is to reach 80 boats. Man, 80 veterans, 80 boats. We've had this up for what, a week and a half? We've got 20 in a week. So I'm excited to go to the shows. TJ and I are going to be at the one in Cincinnati. So we're excited.
Yeah, we're trying to hand out flyers and just pretty much, I think too, just the networking part of it too, just try to get it out there. That's how I found out about the event, was just through networking, and I think that's pretty much all we can really do. And then by word of mouth too, is just trying to get the organization out there. Because I didn't know anything about this organization. You can see I'm I'm all about this organization. So, I mean, it's huge.
I mean, we had one veteran that was at our event that was 77 and said the same thing. And we had TJ's story has touched us in ways that you have no idea, but we've had so many others that told us the same thing. And that is why we have fought so hard to make ourselves an affiliate chapter. That's why we're planning another event. I mean, I'm telling you, if you are in Ohio and you're struggling, to call us. We will get you on the water. We've got captains throughout the state. We now have the most captains in our state from our event. People want to help. So you're doing a great thing here, Rich. We're excited to be a part of it.
Well, we are excited to have you guys as part of the team. And like I said, and it was funny is Anthony Brown came to me. He said, "Dude," he says, "I know you only have a couple people in Ohio, and no one really standing up to be, the state lead. But I have a couple that, that I think would make great state leads." I said, "Dude, you can't just come in the organization, not be part of it, and just become a state lead." I said, they've got to be with they've got to, really learn about the organization, learn about this. And he says, "No, I get that. And I get that." And so then I had that conversation with Ashley and Jesse, and we brought them on board, and it couldn't have been the next day. She's running all these plans at what she wants. And they literally ran with it. I'm like, holy crap. And I'm like, these are the
I know you thought we were crazy.
I did. I honestly did. And so I'm going to shift the focus a little bit away from TJ onto you and Jesse here in a minute. Since John couldn't make it, I'm about to drill you guys. So, I did. I thought you guys were crazy. But it was so super exciting because there seemed to be, and I'm not taking anything away from any of our other captains at all. But it seemed like, and Ashley, you're on our team chat, so you see how I get aggravated and get ticked when things aren't going the way they should. And when I saw the drive that you guys had and the passion, and literally just started running full bore, it was a breath of fresh air because it was the exact same passion that I was putting into the organization. And so I was like, wow. It's like they cloned my fat butt into two other people, and now I got me in Ohio as well. It was super exciting. So let me ask you this now. What got you interested in wanting to do what you do for our organization? Why our organization and not one of the others? And what gives you the drive, since you and Jesse aren't vets? What's your driving factor? And what's up, my brother Ed?
And Dwayne, I want to say hey to him. He's another one of our vets.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
That's from our event that we've taken out ourselves. Glad to have you here, Dwayne. So 6 years ago, a close friend of ours here in Ohio, who was an Army veteran and had 4 kids. His kids are the same age as my kids. And when he was discharged from the Army, they moved back here from North Carolina. And James was a football coach. He was a basketball coach. You name it, he was that for the kids. My son was extremely close with James. Things didn't work out between him and his wife, and he went to pick up his kids one night, and his ex-father-in-law greeted him at the door and asked him why he was there, that nobody wanted him to be around. James is no longer with us. Those kids have went through school without their father. Madison is getting ready to graduate high school without her dad. We have a lot of veterans in our family, and I know I talk about Anthony Brown a lot, but that man, he pours his heart. He is one himself, and he does what he can to help our veterans. and your organization is one of the ones that he's promoted the most. That's the one that caught our attention. They were looking for captains in everywhere but Ohio. And it just happened. I mean, we met him in Vicksburg. We had a few conversations. We're going to keep going it.
Man, that is all right. I'm just responding to a text from somebody. Don't have any way to chat on YouTube. I know. Hold on here. Go to Facebook. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with our chat capability on YouTube, because supposedly there was a lot of folks on YouTube trying, and there was no chat. And so I've got to figure out what's going on with that. We'll have that ready for next week. Which actually, it reminds me, we need to find some new some more folks next week. And
Okay.
so yeah, we're gonna have to find some more guests for next week. But no, and that's a sad story, Ash, about your kid's coach and stuff like that. And unfortunately, that's way too common. It is way too common that just little things, especially when it comes to our kids, as adults, we can deal with, we can deal with divorce. It's not an easy thing. Not at all, believe me. Or we can deal with life's setbacks. But when it comes to the kids, that's always, a lot of times, that's always the toughest thing. And so, and it saddens my heart that this gentleman is no longer with us. And it's once again another reason why we do what we do. We know, and I don't think the number is correct. Everybody focuses on that 22, veterans, that commit suicide. Doing a lot of research and stuff like that. That number is actually a little bit smaller. But one suicide is one too many. And so my goal for the organization, and it can only happen with our team and our ambassadors. And that's another thing, let me see here. Can I request another trip, Mr. Rich? Oh, let's see here. What did he say? All right. Bill says, can I request another trip, Mr. Rich? I need some real therapy right now. Tough times. No, you can't. Of course you can, brother. You just get on the website, man. And you can request another trip. And I hope your mother's doing well, Bill. And we'll see you at CatCon. But we also we have a lot going on with Operation Vets with Nets. We have a lot of changes internally. We're going to be having we've got a lot of interest of folks. You're welcome, brother. We have a lot of folks interested in starting up affiliate chapters. But bottom line is, my goal for our vets is to be within the next, I wanted to do it in 10 years. We're in our 5th year. Yeah, we're in our 5th year, because we were actually formed in the heart of COVID. But to be as big as Tunnel for Towers or something like that. Now, some people I talked to about that, they said, dude, you're crazy. That organization has been around for 20 years. I'm like, okay, that's awesome. And they do great things. But that's what the good Lord put on my heart. and only he can make it happen. And so there's a lot in the works with the organization and what things we're going to provide for our vets. Eventually, I would like to, where we can afford to, be able to, if a vet needs help getting to an event, that we can do that. Maybe if we're doing a certain big event and people are traveling, set up lodging at one hotel, get a great rate, maybe get some rooms donated. Whatever we can do to provide that real therapy is really what our goal is. Yeah, Chris Spencer. Thanks, Chris. Chris says it's awesome to see how much the organization has grown. Chris came on board. Chris is from in North Carolina. Chris came on board, I'd say within 6 months of us forming the organization. At least within the first year. Yeah, he's seen it grow. There's a lot of folks in here who've seen us grow. And it's a blessing. Like I said, we have some captains that can only fish on the weekends or could only fish a couple of times a month. We have some captains that'll fish 7 days a week, unless it's hunting season. Then Walter has to take Friday and Saturday off because he needs to go hunting. That's my brother. And but that's okay. But all the rest of the time he's out there fishing. And bottom line is, no other captain is any more important than any other captain. Heck, I'm the founder and CEO of the organization, and I'm no more important than one of our ambassadors, because this organization has nothing to do with Rich. This organization has everything to do with our vets, and we succeed as a team, and we fail as a team. And we're gonna hit those road bumps. I know, Chris. Chris asked. We didn't have chat on. I don't know what happened there, Chris. I've got to check those settings.
We also have. I just want to shout out. We had Gary Davidson. He was in here. He was one of our captains. There was somebody from West Virginia. Where did it go? Charlie. He said he's going to come fish with us this year. So
yeah, Charlie.
we had captains. We had captains and veterans from 4 hours away last year. So don't think that you're too far. We want you. If you're in Ohio or West Virginia, Kentucky, Indiana, we don't care. Come fish with us.
So it's an amazing event for sure. And back to what Rich was saying. I would have never known that this was the first, or that last year was the first year you guys done it, just because of how smooth everything was with the boat launch, coming in and out, just how everything was set up. I'd have never guessed that was the first year that you guys had actually done that. I mean, everything was flowing perfectly. I mean, it was perfect. I'd have thought you guys had been doing it for 5-10 years. But I think that too helped out with the experience for sure.
Thank you, TJ. We appreciate that.
Yeah, you guys, and like I told you guys, did such an incredible job, and that's why Jay Paff, who's our Virginia event coordinator, he's organizing all this for us. He's helped take a lot of this off my plate, so I can focus on other things. And the first thing he said to me, he says, I'm going to reach out to Ashley and Jesse and get their lessons learned. What they did that worked, what they did that could be done better. And I know Jay, because these events are 9 months out. That 9 months will roll real quick. But I know you guys are going to get a lot of calls from Walter. I know he wants to try to mimic and accomplish a lot of what you guys did up there, which is fantastic. I just got word last week that there's a VFW. They're going to finalize the details that are going to host something the Friday night before. And so, which is great. So it'll end up being a 2-day event like ours. It'll be that meet and greet on that Friday night. And then ours is going to be a tournament without scales. It's going to be a gentleman's tournament. Bottom line is the whole purpose, the whole event is literally to provide that real therapy and get guys in the water. But we'll probably have a big team chat for everybody in the water. And when you're catching fish, just take a picture on the scale, on the scale. And when we get back, we'll have some prizes for the biggest fish. And we are going to have it catered. The gentleman that's done other events up there with the Tidewater or the Tidal James Catfish Club is going to do all the cooking. He's going to be doing brisket, barbecue, catfish nuggets, something he's done before. And Walter has tasted his food before, and all Walter did was brag about his catfish nuggets. So that'll be really cool. So
I'm pretty sure that if you asked any of the people that fished our event about the food, they would tell you it was a 10 out of 10. Those guys, we had so much food, didn't we, TJ?
Oh yeah.
That's exactly what I've heard. That's exactly, Ash, that from the vets that have reached out to me that want to be, going from just an event, your event captains to wanting to be full-time captains. And some of those folks that reached out and some of the vets wanted to become like ambassadors. I asked them, well, tell me about what you enjoyed about the event, this, that, and the other. So, and I don't think there was anything negative or anything that truly needed, at least visually to the outside world, that really needed to be done better. Because
I know. I even tried to get them to leave me suggestions. I had a whole suggestion box with cards. I had a suggestion box with cards. Tell me what we need to do different. Tell me, what you like, what you didn't like. And it was all they just liked it. They enjoyed their day. Like TJ said, being able to be around other veterans and people that care about you. That's all they cared about. They didn't care about what we had to eat or what their prizes were that they won. They were just glad to be there.
And two is just connecting with all ages. So you had I want to say there's some Vietnam vets there, and then you had me. I think I was probably one of the younger ones. So it's just the different age gaps, just connecting, and everybody explaining their experiences too was really awesome.
Yep.
A
couple of them got their kids.
That's that. Again, folks, that's all this that we're talking about, and how TJ, because TJ is a part of our organization. These are all just beginning stages. And Ed Jenkins. Ed is leaving Tennessee and moving to South Carolina. Well, he's taking over that whole region for me. He's going to establish an affiliate chapter. Ed has already done. As a matter of fact, Ed just come back from doing a big trade show up in Tennessee, and I can't wait to hear the feedback from that. And if I would have saw him, if he was on earlier, I would have tried to bring him into the chat and kind of shared. But we'll address that next week or so. What's up, Chris? What's up, Johnny Ward? Johnny Ward comes from Catfish for Heroes, but he's part of our team as well. and he's out there in Japan, of all places, and he needs to hurry up back so he can do some of his real therapy again back here. But that's awesome that him and his family are stationed out there in Japan and really enjoying themselves. But we have about 5 minutes left. The one thing I like to do is I'm mindful of people's time. Plus, I have a major time zone difference for me. I'm usually on the East Coast where I like it, and I'm stuck here in California where I don't like it. Just
With
because.
Chris.
What's that?
With Chris Wheeler.
See, now, the thing is, Chris said if I was going to be here longer, he's out in Arizona right now, and he said, "Dude, I'll come out there. I'll come out and see you." I'm like, "Dude, we'll see you at CatCon, or we'll see you." And then he tells me, "Oh, I just realized I'm 5 hours from you because I'm in San Diego right now, and I've been up since and doing presentations to the Department of Defense and all this other good stuff. My job for the man, and like I was telling the team today in chat, I'd rather have been out on a boat and full of slime than being in a suit like I was today because I was presenting. But TJ, we got just a couple minutes left because like I said, I want to be mindful of people's time. You have any closing words for us? Some encouraging thoughts you want to provide, or maybe there's a vet that's watching the show, and he or she is thinking about something like anything you want to share.
That just tomorrow needs you. I think that was like one of the sayings that me and Ashley been kind of going back and forth about, like something to put on our shirts that actually are meaning something, and that's just something that like we came up with, and it's just tomorrow needs you, and I think that fits pretty good on all aspects. I mean, you just make it to the next day, and just keep doing that, and then you'll get out of it. I'm not the only one. There's plenty of other. I'm just the one that shared my story, but there's plenty of other vets out there that have struggled and they've made it through it. But I'd say just tomorrow needs you.
Man, no, and you know what? Those simple words are very powerful. Very powerful. Ashley.
They are, because you never know who is struggling. They could look like they have it all together on the outside, and inside they're falling apart. And you telling them that and just being a friend to them at that very moment when they need it the most could change their life.
I like that. And those silicone bands, man, that would be awesome.
Mine's pretty worn out, but I wear mine every single day.
To the screen, Ashley. Let me see. Let's see. Yeah, let's see. Okay, 22 a day. You know what? But I like that tomorrow I need you. Yeah.
It's just Veterans Lives Matter.
Yes. And I need to get an order in probably this week if we're going to have them for CatCon, but I probably will order about 500 or 600. Yeah, I'll hit you up because, yeah, I like that. Tomorrow I need you. And you know what? Sometimes that's all a vet needs to hear.
Yep.
Sometimes that's all they need to hear. And knowing that they are not alone in this battle.
Exactly.
So, well, guys, we got about a minute. I appreciate you guys' time. I'm sorry John couldn't make it on. But Ash, we'll talk sometime this weekend and try to get some guests for next weekend. Then I'll go ahead and create the show and then get everything, get the thumbnail made and all that stuff and start pushing that. And I will, for my folks that like to watch from YouTube, I will figure out why The chat was disabled. It might just be a setting in YouTube itself. And I never disabled it because we used to have chat capability. But I invite you guys to come back again. Share this this video out with folks. But it's that time. It is 9 o'clock. I'm gonna get it's 9 o'clock there. It's 6 o'clock here in San Diego. So I'm gonna grab myself a bite to eat, pack up all my clothes, and go to sleep so I can get on the plane at 5:30 in the morning. Get back home where I belong with my lovely wife. And get back with my peeps. I know, Walter misses me. I know Walter hates me being so far away. So all right, guys, listen, I love each and every one of you guys. This organization would not be what it is without you guys. TJ, that's including you, brother. And the people out there, a lot of our teammates that are watching. Let's make 2025. Let's set a goal of getting over 1,000 vets out on the water this year. That's huge. So, all right, folks, you two stand by. Don't go nowhere once I end this. Love you guys. We'll see you back next week. Please. Where is it here? Let me see here. Oh yeah. If you are still on YouTube, click and subscribe to our channel. We're also, I want to try to, and I'll work with you, Ashley, this week so we can link. You have a YouTube channel, correct? Or no?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I don't have enough followers on YouTube. The only thing, yeah.
We'll try if you want. If you got a Facebook page that you want this to link to, along with YouTube, we'll add those destinations in there. So simulcast on those as well. So, okay. Hey, Don, what's going on, buddy? All right. You guys be blessed.
Did you want something quick?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I was going to say, if
TJ, did you have something?
Yeah, if whoever's watching, if you guys go to operationvetswithnets.org, so you can sign up, like Rich was saying, as a captain or just a vet to get out on the water. It doesn't have to. You don't have to wait until that event. Like Rich said, at any point, and Ashley said, at any point before that or even after that event, you guys can get signed up and get out on the water. It doesn't have to. You don't have to wait for that event, which is huge. But then also, I don't know if you mentioned it, Rich, but there's the donation tab. And the only reason why this is even possible to get these, I mean, everything costs money, obviously. So the only way to, get the captain and the vet out there is, through donations. And there is a donation tab, I believe, Rich, on the website. I mean, from $15 to, how much ever you want to donate, every little bit does help, and I can promise you that.
Thank you for the plug, TJ. I didn't even think about that, and I appreciate that. Any last minute words of wisdom there, Ashley?
Nope. Tomorrow needs you, and we're here.
I need you guys too. Man, that would be a great neck tattoo. Oh, my wife would kill me. All right, guys.
I'm trying to get my wife to. I'm trying to convince her to get the Operation Vets with Nets logo, and then the Tomorrow Needs You on my forearm somewhere. So it's a work in progress.
Oh, I'm getting the Operation Vets with Nets. I've already. My wife's like, you have enough tattoos. You're covered in them. I said, I still got some skin space left. So, all right, guys, you stay blessed. You guys don't go nowhere.